Welcome to today's video. Today, we're diving into a mysterious and shocking story involving one of Hollywood's legendary figures, Gene Hackman. This case has not only stirred up public curiosity, but also left many questions unanswered. The story revolves around the bizarre disappearance of Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog for a span of 9 days, becoming one of the strangest incidents that the media couldn't fully explain. It wasn't until a worker happened to glance through a window that the truth began to emerge. Was this just an accident? Or is there a deeper mystery behind it all? Stay tuned as we unravel all the details of this chilling story. Gene Hackman, the mysterious passing of a Hollywood legend. On February 26, 2025, the world was shocked by the unexpected passing of Gene Hackman, the Hollywood legend, at the age of 95. Along with his wife, Betsy Arakawa, they were found dead in their luxurious Santa Fe, New Mexico home. Hackman, with his illustrious career and iconic roles, has long been synonymous with classic films. However, his death was far from what anyone could have imagined. In fact, the deaths of Hackman and his wife sparked an outpouring of shock and disbelief in the film community. This incident not only drew attention because of the death of a legendary figure, but also due to the strange details surrounding the scene of the incident. Initially, the police believed there were no signs of foul play. But, as the investigation deepened, several unusual details arose, casting doubts on the cause of death. No one could explain why their mansion had been vacant for 9 days without anyone noticing, and the mysterious traces found inside raised questions about whether Hackman had been caught up in a secret no one could understand. In his final years, Gene Hackman chose to live a more private life, withdrawing from the public eye. The last years of his life, alongside Betsy Arakawa, were marked by silence, but rumors and speculation continued to swirl about what transpired in their home. Could Hackman have become entangled in secrets only those involved truly understood? Everything points to an untold story, a mystery that no one can solve. Although the police have ruled out foul play, new findings have led to an expanded investigation, and more theories are being proposed. Was this simply the natural end of a life that had weathered many storms? Or is there something darker hiding behind the death of one of the greatest film icons of all time? Only time will reveal the truth. What are your thoughts on this mysterious case? Do you think Gene Hackman's death hides something deeper? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Unanswered questions surrounding the mysterious death of Gene Hackman and his wife. Despite the police awaiting test results, many questions surrounding the tragic deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife remain unanswered. One of the most pressing is why there were no distress calls made from the couple's home. Given their prominence, it seems unlikely they wouldn't have had a way to call for help in an emergency. This leaves investigators wondering whether something else was at play, something that kept them from reaching out. Could there have been an immediate threat that made them unable to act? Was it a matter of fear, or perhaps something even more sinister lurking in the background? What do you think could explain the absence of a call for help in such a dire situation? Another puzzling aspect is the fact that the front door was found open, but there were no signs of forced entry. If someone had intruded, wouldn't there have been obvious traces of a break-in? The fact that the door was unlocked suggests the possibility that whoever was involved may have had a key or was already familiar with the home. This raises the chilling question: who had access to their home? And why didn't they take any more apparent steps to conceal their presence? Could this be a case of someone close to them being involved? What are your thoughts on this eerie detail that points to an intimate connection? Lastly, the fact that Gene Hackman and his wife were found in 2 different locations has raised eyebrows. What happened in the moments leading up to their deaths? Why were they not together if something tragic was unfolding? This division in location raises more questions than answers, suggesting that there may have been a sequence of events that led them to separate, or that one of them was targeted first. Could this split in location hold the key to unlocking what truly happened that fateful day? What do you think could have led to this disconnection in their final moments?
Kawa sent shockwaves through both the entertainment industry and Santa Fe. Hackman, despite having retired in 2004, remained a beloved figure in Hollywood, respected for his incredible range and dedication. His performances in films like The French Connection and Unforgiven, both of which earned him Academy Awards, had cemented his legacy. Arakawa, though less publicly known, was respected as a talented classical pianist. The
mysterious case of Gene Hackman's death. A chilling discovery in Santa Fe. On the 26th of February, 2025, a shocking and mysterious event unfolded at the home of legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. After several days of failed attempts to reach them, a maintenance worker arrived to check on the house. What he found was nothing short of chilling. The front door was open, with no signs of forced entry, but through the window he saw two lifeless bodies, one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom. This haunting scene left everyone wondering, what happened in those missing days? The details surrounding the scene were both baffling and eerie. Gene Hackman was found near the kitchen, beside his cane and sunglasses, which suggested a calm, everyday situation before his untimely death. In contrast, Betsy Arakawa was found in the bathroom, collapsed next to a pill bottle that had been opened, with pills scattered across the floor. Was this an accidental overdose, or was something more sinister at play? But perhaps the most unsettling discovery was their dog, found dead inside a closet, while the other two dogs in the house appeared unharmed. How could this be? The mystery deepened when investigators noticed a small heater in the home that had recently been used but was now broken. With no signs of a struggle, theft, or forced entry, the crime scene was puzzling at best. The lack of any external signs of violence raised more questions than answers. Why would everything appear so calm, yet the deaths so untimely and strange? Could it be that there was something far more complicated at play in this house of horrors? One of the most perplexing aspects of the case was the revelation that Hackman had been dead since February 17th, according to his heart monitor's data. Yet, his body wasn't discovered until nearly a week later. What could explain this bizarre gap between his death and the discovery of his body? Could someone have known he was gone, but chosen to let time pass before making the discovery? Or was it something even darker? As investigators piece together the puzzle, the world is left with more questions than answers. What really happened in those lost days? Was it a tragic accident? Or is there a deeper, more sinister secret lurking behind this enigmatic case? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think really happened to Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa? Gene Hackman and the Unsolved Mystery. A silent farewell shrouded in secrets. Gene Hackman, the legendary icon of Hollywood, passed away, leaving behind a deep sense of shock and sorrow among millions of fans around the world. Yet, what makes his death even more haunting isn't just the loss of such a cinematic giant, but the chilling mystery surrounding how he and his beloved wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found lifeless inside their luxurious Santa Fe mansion. When authorities first arrived at the scene, the most logical explanation seemed to be carbon monoxide poisoning, a common silent killer in sealed homes. With a small broken heater recently in use and the house locked up tight, this theory appeared to fit perfectly. However, the case took a bizarre turn when investigators confirmed that no traces of carbon monoxide or any toxic gases were detected anywhere on the property. Ruling out what seemed like the obvious cause only deepened the mystery. If carbon monoxide wasn't responsible, what could have possibly caused both Gene Hackman and his wife to die suddenly at the same time, in the quiet of their own home? Why were there no signs of struggle, no forced entry, no obvious health emergencies? Could there have been something far more sinister lurking beneath the surface of this peaceful setting? In his final years, Gene Hackman chose to step away from the spotlight, embracing a life of privacy far removed from the chaos and attention of Hollywood. Yet, the ending of his story feels eerily like a script pulled straight from one of his most suspenseful films. Two people, both found lifeless. No robbery, no violence, no clear cause, and an empty house that somehow went unnoticed for days. The unanswered questions left behind seem almost too strange to believe. Did Hackman's final chapter involve secrets that only he and Betsy knew? Is there a darker truth that Santa Fe's quiet streets are keeping hidden? Now, the passing of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa is no longer just a heartbreaking loss. It's become one of the most puzzling mysteries to hit Hollywood in recent years. What do you think about the strange circumstances surrounding their deaths? Could this really have been a peaceful accident? Or is there something far more unsettling waiting to be uncovered? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation about this chilling case. Gene Hackman and the Unsolved Mystery. A silent farewell shrouded in secrets. Gene Hackman, the legendary icon of Hollywood, passed away, leaving behind a deep sense of shock and sorrow among millions of fans around the world. Yet, what makes his death even more haunting isn't just the loss of such a cinematic giant, but the chilling mystery surrounding how he and his beloved wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found lifeless inside their luxurious Santa Fe mansion. When authorities first arrived at the scene, the most logical explanation seemed to be carbon monoxide poisoning, a common silent killer in sealed homes. With a small broken heater recently in use and the house locked up tight, this theory appeared to fit perfectly. However, the case took a bizarre turn when investigators confirmed that no traces of carbon monoxide or any toxic gases were detected anywhere on the property. Ruling out what seemed like the obvious cause only deepened the mystery. If carbon monoxide wasn't responsible, what could have possibly caused both Gene Hackman and his wife to die suddenly at the same time, in the quiet of their own home? Why were there no signs of struggle, no forced entry, no obvious health emergencies? Could there have been something far more sinister lurking beneath the surface of this peaceful setting? In his final years, Gene Hackman chose to step away from the spotlight, embracing a life of privacy far removed from the chaos and attention of Hollywood. Yet, the ending of his story feels eerily like a script pulled straight from one of his most suspenseful films. Two people, both found lifeless. No robbery, no violence, no clear cause, and an empty house that somehow went unnoticed for days. The unanswered questions left behind seem almost too strange to believe. Did Hackman's final chapter involve secrets that only he and Betsy knew? Is there a darker truth that Santa Fe's quiet streets are keeping hidden? Now, the passing of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa is no longer just a heartbreaking loss. It's become one of the most puzzling mysteries to hit Hollywood in recent years. What do you think about the strange circumstances surrounding their deaths? Could this really have been a peaceful accident? Or is there something far more unsettling waiting to be uncovered? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation about this chilling case.
If it was even safe for our officers to go in and process the scene and execute the warrant. They stated that it was safe. I don't have the details of exactly what they located or what they didn't locate. It was determined that it was safe. We had been going in and out of the house. I don't know if that affects, if there was a concentration of any gas, including.
Gene Hackman. From peaceful retirement to a mysterious ending. What secrets lie beneath his quiet life? After stepping away from the Hollywood spotlight in 2009, Gene Hackman chose to embrace an incredibly quiet life in New Mexico, far removed from the chaos of the media. In his later years, he was no longer the strong, commanding figure we saw on screen, but instead a humble man who spent his days indulging in peaceful hobbies like painting, writing books, and fishing. And yet, it was that very calm that made news of his mysterious passing all the more shocking to the public. Have you ever wondered if behind that tranquil exterior there were things never meant to be revealed? The last time Gene Hackman was seen in public was in 2023, when he and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were spotted having dinner at a local restaurant. Witnesses from that evening recall Hackman looking noticeably frail, relying on a cane and walking slowly, sometimes needing his wife's help just to stand. At the time, fans assumed it was simply the toll of old age on the legendary actor. But now, with everything that has happened, a haunting question remains. Was his decline just a natural part of aging? Or was it an early sign of a tragedy quietly unfolding behind the scenes? What do you think? Was it all just an eerie coincidence? Hackman's post-Hollywood life seemed entirely free of scandal or drama. He lived peacefully with his wife, enjoying the simple pleasures of a quiet existence, far from the fame that once defined him. Even back in 2012, when he was involved in a bicycle accident, he walked away with only minor injuries, almost as if fate was giving him more time. And yet now, his death has cast a shadow of mystery no one seems able to explain. Do you think it's possible that this absolute peace was merely a mask hiding something far darker beneath the surface? One thing that still unsettles many people is how Hackman nearly vanished from public life for over a decade. A Hollywood legend like him could have easily made the occasional appearance, if only to honor his iconic contributions to cinema. But instead, he chose complete seclusion, leaving fans only with memories of his unforgettable roles. Looking back now, some can't help but wonder, did Hackman sense some unseen danger? Or was he simply running from something he could never face? What's your take? Was his disappearance just a personal choice? Or was there something more to it? The sudden death of Gene Hackman and his wife not only left fans mourning, but also raised countless questions about those final, seemingly peaceful years of his life. Here was a great artist, living quietly, free from controversy, only to pass away under strange and puzzling circumstances. Could it be that hidden among the serene landscapes of New Mexico was a secret yet to be uncovered? And more importantly, has Hackman's story truly ended? Or is this just the beginning of a deeper mystery waiting to unfold? Do you believe what we know so far is only the surface of something much bigger? Share your theories below.
Results could be weeks away.
I think we just found one deceased person inside a house.
The couple's bodies were found Wednesday by maintenance workers, and after a frantic call to 911, county fire and sheriff's deputies descended on this Santa Fe residence.
Are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
Much of the investigation is happening just up this road behind gates and a guard in an affluent neighborhood where homes are separated by acres of land. That's where Hackman and his wife chose to live, decidedly.
Gene Hackman and the strange clue, the mystery of the dog found dead in the closet, and the unanswered questions. Among the many bizarre details at the scene of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa's deaths, few have puzzled investigators more than the discovery of a small dog found dead inside a closet. What makes this even more confusing is that two other dogs living in the same house were found perfectly healthy, showing no signs of poisoning or injury. This immediately raised a crucial question. Why did only one dog die while the others remained unharmed? Could the death of this single dog be the missing link that unlocks the real secret behind the tragedy that took place inside the Hackman residence? What do you think? Could this be a sign that something deeply unsettling had been silently unfolding within the home? Forensic experts quickly began testing samples of the home's food and water to determine whether any toxic substances were present. If the unfortunate dog had been poisoned through its food or water, why weren't the other dogs affected? Did they somehow avoid the tainted source by pure chance? Or was this one specific dog intentionally targeted? Taking it a step further, if there was poison in the house, could that also explain the mysterious deaths of Hackman and his wife? How would you explain the strange and unsettling difference in fate between the three dogs? The theory of poisoning became even more disturbing when investigators noted the condition in which the dead dog was found: curled up, with no signs of a struggle or attempt to escape. It was as if it quietly collapsed inside that small, confined space without making any noise loud enough to draw attention. This detail has left many wondering. Was the dog intentionally placed inside the closet and poisoned separately? Or was its death just a terrifying coincidence within the chaos of that doomed household? In your opinion, could this overlooked detail actually hold the key to the entire case? The survival of the other two dogs raises even more chilling questions. If an intruder had really been in the house, why didn't the other dogs react aggressively or show any injuries? Anyone who owns dogs knows that when a stranger breaks in, their first instinct is to bark loudly or try to protect their owners. Yet, in this case, everything was eerily silent, as if the entire scene had been orchestrated flawlessly. Could it be that the surviving dogs were calmed by someone they recognized? Or was the perpetrator so skilled that they managed to carry out their plan without alarming anyone, including the animals? Do you believe the strange peacefulness of the surviving dogs suggests that someone familiar to them may have been behind this tragedy? Right now, toxicology reports on the deceased dog, as well as the food and water from the house, are still pending. Many are hoping that the lab results will provide clear answers and help untangle the bizarre twists of this case. However, others believe this is just one small layer in what could be a much deeper mystery surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. What do you think? Will the upcoming test results bring us closer to the truth? Or will they only make the case even more confusing? If you had to guess, where do you think this whole tragedy truly began? Don't hesitate to share your theories below.
Seen near Hackman's wife's body. The warrant stated that there were, quote, no obvious signs of a gas leak, and that was an earlier conjecture that perhaps they passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, Santa Fe County Sheriff Mendoza confirmed with Fox News Digital separately that the gas company and fire department additionally responded to make sure there were no toxic fumes that would endanger the deputies during their search. And the New Mexico Gas Company is working with the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department in this investigation.
Gene Hackman, a legendary life and heartfelt tributes from friends, colleagues, and family. The passing of Gene Hackman has left a significant void in the hearts of his fans and colleagues. Many stars have expressed their deep sorrow at the loss of this cinematic legend. Gwyneth Paltrow, One of Hackman's close friends posted a photo of them together, accompanied by a broken heart emoji, reflecting the unspeakable pain of losing such a great talent. She wrote, "Gene Hackman was a great teacher, a legend that can never be replaced," deeply moving the public with her heartfelt words about their special bond. Clint Eastwood, who had the privilege of working alongside Hackman in numerous films, also shared his sadness. In a touching statement, Eastwood called Hackman one of the most talented actors he had ever worked with. He always brought depth and power to every role, making each scene unforgettable, Eastwood said. Their relationship went beyond colleagues to close friends, making Eastwood's tribute even more meaningful. Can you feel the depth of Eastwood's words as he reflects on Hackman's impact? On the family front, they released an official statement expressing their grief and respect for their beloved family member. "We are deeply saddened by the loss of our father and stepfather. To millions, he was a legend. But to us, he was simply a father, a grandfather, a man we greatly admired," the Hackman family shared in a press release. This simple yet profound statement reminded many that behind the legendary career was a close-knit, loving family man who meant so much to those who knew him. Do you think this personal side of Hackman resonates deeply with the public? Hackman's life and career will always be remembered not only for his iconic films, but also for the meaningful relationships he built with his colleagues and family. Throughout his years in Hollywood, Hackman was known not just for his exceptional talent, but for his humility, sincerity, and respect for others. Even though he rarely spoke about his personal life, Hackman managed to form lasting bonds with many in the industry. Can you sense the humility and genuine nature of Hackman through these tributes? This loss serves as a reminder that legends like Hackman leave behind more than just a legacy of remarkable films. They also leave behind a legacy of deep connections with those who knew them best. Do you think the stories of Hackman will continue to be told for generations, just as he made an indelible mark on the world of cinema? Share your thoughts on Hackman's lasting impact on film and the people he worked with. The investigation unfolds. Who was in contact with Gene Hackman and his wife before their mysterious deaths? The police are currently investigating any possible contacts Gene Hackman and his wife may have had in the days leading up to their mysterious deaths, with many questions still unanswered. One of the biggest mysteries is the lack of evidence showing anyone entering their home before they passed. Their call logs, emails, and medical history are all being carefully examined to trace any interactions they might have had during that time. Every possibility is being considered, from secret meetings to phone calls or online contact. Do you think someone could have secretly reached out to them? One of the most puzzling aspects of this case is the absence of any signs of forced entry into their home, even though the police are investigating whether someone could have entered without leaving any clear evidence behind. The front door was found open, but there were no signs of a break-in or anything disturbed, which only deepens the mystery. Could the perpetrator have been so careful that everything appeared normal to cover up their actions? Or is there a strange coincidence at play? Do you think the culprit was able to carefully hide their tracks? While investigators continue to work tirelessly to solve the case, there is still no clear conclusion about the cause of Hackman and his wife's deaths. Everything, from recent encounters to odd signs in their bodies, is being thoroughly analyzed. This has led to many questions the public still doesn't have answers to. Will new discoveries in the investigation bring light to a hidden truth? Or will this case continue to stir up speculation without resolution? What do you think about the possibility that there is a hidden factor yet to be uncovered in this mystery? Thank you for watching the video about Gene Hackman and the mysteries surrounding his and his wife's deaths. While the cause of their deaths remains unclear, Gene Hackman's legacy will forever live on in the hearts of his fans and those who love cinema. From an unknown actor to a legend, he left a lasting impact on the film industry. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these mysteries. What do you think about the events surrounding Gene Hackman's death? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos.